Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Yomesh Gupta, and in this video we are going to solve a front-end interview question that was shared by one of our users of the Devtools Tech platform. That this question was asked in the machine coding round of a top product company in India. I cannot disclose the name, but it's an interesting problem statement. And in this question, the idea behind this problem statement was to understand that how well the candidate can write code, what is their architecture, naming convention, problem solving, logic building, and UI skills. So let me give you a quick demo what we have to build. So in the question, we would have, as you can see here, we would have the count of total boxes, which is 12. Uh, so this would always or should always be divisible by 4 or a multiple of 4 in this case. We have to build a game board which would take this total boxes as input and render this grid. Now in this grid, the number of columns should always be fixed, that we would always have 4 columns, and the rows will adjust accordingly to accommodate. So let's say if the boxes are 16, then there would be additional row here and so on. Now in terms of functional requirements, the idea here was that if I click on any box, then it would reveal the actual color of that box. So this is some particular color here, and it will stay in the revealed state for now. If I click on any other box, then it will reveal the color, and if they are not of the same color, the pair is not there, then it would revolve to white background in 400 milliseconds. So let's try this out again. So see, these two are of the same color, it makes a pair, so they will now for the rest of the game will stay in the revealed state. Now we don't have this matching color, this is not also matching, this is matching. Green, I think this was green. Oh, this was the matching green. Pink, this must be. And now this is the last tile or the last box, and if I click on it, then all the matches are done. And once they are done, we will see on the screen that the game is over in how many rounds. Now any pair selection is counted as one round, so it took us 14 rounds here. If you can see on the screen, it says game over in 14 rounds. You can make the screen as fancy as you want, and if I click on restart game, then it would restart the game from the original state where all the boxes are in white state. And if we click on any box, then it will reveal its state, and a matching pair will remain the same in the entirety of the game. So here in the question, all the information is mentioned that I just showed you in the demo. Let's check out what all files do we have. So we have this game board. If I click on it, it's just an empty skeleton component for now, which is printing here, and it's imported into app.js, this game.js basically. Now if I go to, let's say, style, we have the utils.js. So basically we have two functions here. This get random colors that is exported, that is provided by in the interview by the interviewer. So I mean, initially it might not be provided to you in an interview setting, but to make the problem statement more accessible and to make it more easy, what I've done is I've seeded some couple of utils function that using this method get random colors. By providing a limit, it will give you an array of random colors. So let's say if we provide limit as 6, then it is going to give us an array which would contain 6 random colors. So let's say this is white, and it might have maybe black and so on till the limit, as simple as that. So let's copy this. Now we come to our game.js. Now if we let's understand what we have to do in this question first. Let's build some sort of mental map or some sort of algorithm here. So we know that we need to, or what we can do here is that let's close this first, so we have more space. We need to build a grid here basically, which is n cross m, and in this case our m we know is fixed, which is basically the column size, that we know that the number of columns would always be 4. So that means our n would be the whatever total we have divided by the m. So in this case it would be something like 12 divided by 4. So we have 3 rows, and if let's say our total is 16 in this, so in that case 16 divided by 4, we have 4 rows, and so on. So this is the logic. So that means right now, since we have 12, we have to build an n cross m grid, which is equal to 4 cross 3 grid, sorry, 3 cross 4, because 3 is the number of rows and 4 is the number of columns. So this is we have to build. So here what our broad algorithm would look like is that first we'll build the game's skeleton component. Like, we'll just render a basic grid. Whenever we approach interview questions like this, or any machine coding round, any system design, any interview, always break down your task into smaller chunks, because in an organization also, you don't build things right away. You break them into smaller milestones, achievable milestones, that by first month we'll achieve this, by second month we'll achieve this, or first week, first sprint, and so on. So always build, or always have some milestones that are time bound and well scoped, and this approach will help you in the longer run. So we are trying to replicate here. And in interview like this, the interview want to see your architecture, your thought process, your code writing. So if you have some structured approach, so that would make a good impression. So we'll build the game skeleton, render a basic grid, then we will render boxes, and have the logic of maybe color rendering. Then we'll handle interactivity, like click handlers and so on, and plus state management if that's required somehow. Then at last we will have the final game over screen with reset functionality. Okay, so these are the broad strokes that I'm going to do, but this will refine and modify as per we approach the problem. So let's start. Let me close this for now. So we need the colors. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to import my get random colors here from utils.js, and I'll have, let's say, something called colors, which is going to call this. And now we want to know the limit, like how many colors do we need. We know that we have total count as 12, and 12 means we need 6 pairs, because two boxes will make each pairs, right? Two boxes will make each pair, yeah. So that means we need 6 distinct colors, 6 unique colors, basically, or random colors. So that's why we are going to say total slash 2, because we need half number of colors as our total. So if I, let's say, in place of my total, if I do colors dot to string, you'll see that it is printing out 6 colors, basically 1 2 3 4 5 6. But now the case here is that we want to assign these 6 colors to all the boxes, and 2 boxes will have the same color. So let's create that. So we'll, because we have to render the grid, right? And for grid we need 12 boxes, and each box will have some color, and 2 boxes will have the same color. So what I can do here is I can say, and one more thing, so let me write this down first so that it's more clear. So we need 12 boxes and 6 colors. Each pair will have the same color, or to better write it, uh, 2 boxes will have the same color to make a pair. Also, it's not just enough to assign the boxes, we need to randomize it also, because as we saw in the demo that if we have multiple boxes, they shouldn't be adjacent, they should be at different places in the grid. So we have to somehow randomize it also, and then render the UI. So let's build this. So I'll create a variable called boxes, and maybe let's optimize it right away. So we'll use memo, and we'll say use from React we'll have the use memo, and this will change if our total changes. So this is going to be I'll show you what these boxes mean. So we'll take this, the colors, we'll put it inside this. Now this will give us an array like we saw, like this is going to give us an array in hex code. So I'm just writing in English: black, red, green, yellow, orange, white. So this is going to give us an array of 6 colors, and this is breaking. Now we need 6 colors. We have that. We need to assign the colors to boxes also, and we have to randomize it. So what we can do is, let's say I'll say paired colors is equal to, let's create an array here. So my array would be something like or in this case what we can do here is that colors comma colors. So what I'm basically doing is that I'm taking this and I am copying it over into a new array with the same values. So something like this. Okay, so this is my paired colors for now. And also we need to shuffle it. So what I can do is that now to shuffle it, you can use a lot of mechanism that you can just loop over it and randomly assign. What I like to do is, and you can also ask the interviewer that use some third-party tools for a better test it. So I'm using Lodash here. So I've installed Lodash. I'll import Lodash here, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to wrap it in shuffle. So what I've done so far is that using this internal method get random colors, I got an array of 6 colors because our limit was 6. Then we created a duplicate of it by having 12 colors in this similar. This is making a pair here. We need 12 because we have 12 boxes, and then we shuffled it. So by doing so, our final array from this duplicate, it will still have duplicates, but it will become like you have black here, let's say black, then maybe white, red, again black, and so on till we have 12 elements in the array. Okay, now what else we can do here is that we can say return paired colors dot map. This would be, let's say, a box. We are going to, or in this case it would be a color and ID. So we are going to return an object from this ID comma background color. So basically what I'm doing here is that now we know we have an array of 12 randomized color. I am looping over it and I am returning an array of objects where each object would represent a box here, which would have some ID, let's say 1, and a property called background color or BG color, which is, let's say, black. Now my second object might be something like ID 2 and background color red, and till, let's say, we have ID 8 and it is again going to have color black. So this ID 1 and ID 8 is making a pair here. I'm doing so because we can have these boxes, and using these boxes we will render our final grid. So the boxes array of objects that we have just created, let's use this to render our grid here. So let's say this is our grid, and I'm going to give it a class name of container, and maybe inside this container we are going to have a maybe something called boxes. Inside this we will have our actual boxes or tiles, whatever you want to call them. So for this what we need is tile.css. So let me close this. I'll come here. So my container here is going to be, let's say, width 100, view height, and some padding of 30 pixels maybe. Then we have the boxes, which is going to be display flex, flex direction row, flex wrap, which is going to be wrap. Some border, let's give it a border of 1 pixel solid black. And what else do we need for in our box? What else? Maybe let's say width of 100%, because we wanted to take the width of the entire parent, which is it's actually taking, but let's be sure. Now inside my game.jsx we need to render the boxes. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to create a new component called box.js. I'll open it and I'll close this. So we have the box. It is going to take the background color for now, and it is going to return us a div with the class name of box, style of let's say, for now let's assign the background color this one only, and let's do this much for now, and we'll return the box from here, and we'll go to our game.jsx. We'll import this component box from box. We'll come down here, let's close this. Inside this we are going to map over the boxes. We have boxes dot map. We'll have the box here. It's going to return the box. Key would be box.id, and then we'll spread the box here. Now we need to style our boxes. So what we are going to do is we can say box width maybe 25%, and what else we can do, border 1 pixel solid black, same as that. Now there is no height, so there are multiple ways, because we need perfect squares. So either we can do is something like padding top 25%, padding at G. See, this will give us the box. Now this is one way, by having a padding top 25%. This ensures that our width and height are equal and we have a perfect square. Another way to do this would be something called aspect ratio, which is 1/1, which is basically what we are saying is that the dimensions or aspect ratio of this particular element should be 1:1. If I make it 2:1, then we'll have a rectangle, and you can play around with this and see what all values you can see. And this aspect ratio was released in 2021 and it is widely supported, so you can use this. There are multiple ways to achieve this. So we have this. Now what else we can do? uh, Maybe like a transition on this all, because we need to change the background color. So we'll have a transition right away. We can apply the transition just directly to background color, but I'm just giving it all. Else we can also say cursor is equal to pointer here, so that if we go here, then we can have the cursor pointer here. Now this is done. So if we see our algorithm, we need to render the game skeleton, a basic grid, and render the boxes, and having logic of color rendering. So we rendered the grid, we rendered the boxes also, but now right now we are giving it the background color as it is, but we have to give it white. Initially it should be white, and after that when we click on it, then it should become reveal this color. Okay. Now let's implement the interactivity part. The when we click on a box, then what should happen, and based on that we'll also decide our color rendering logic. So let me create a click handler here called handle click. Now let's understand the logic here. So what should be the logic? Let's say if I click on a box and current color is black, then I need to make a certain choices. If is this my first selection, let's say if I click on the first box, then yes, if yes, then we just need to store, and then we are going to simply return, because as of this point it's not a pair, it's not the second selection, so we can't make any decision, so we'll just store it and then we'll return it. If it is my second selection, that if I click here, then if I click here, these are my two selections, so now I need to make a decision that if my first selection and second selection color is equal, then we need to store it. We need to keep the boxes in the revealed state for the rest of the game. If not, then we'll reset it to white, and this is like agnostic to if and else, that we will increase the round count as 1 or plus 1. We'll increment it by 1 because a pair selection is counted as one round, and we need it for the final game over screen. So to implement this, we will pass this handle click to our box. So we'll say on click, we'll pass this handle click, and inside our box we will have this on click method. Now we'll locally maintain the state for now. So what we can do is that we can say background color, because we don't need the white color, we need this as computed color. We basically need to compute this. So background color use state. For now, let's say initially it is default bg color. We are going to define this constant. So first we need to import the use state from React. We'll define this as white and use this background color here basically. So it's giving us white for now, and we can have a on click which is going to say handle click. Let's define this here. So our handle click in this case is going to set the background color for now with the background color, and it will call the parents on click with this similar background color. So if I click on this, then it will reveal the state, or reveal the actual color, and it will call my parents background color, where we'll actually make a choice. Now we don't want to click multiple clicks here, register multiple clicks. So we can say if my background color is not equal to default background color, then we'll just simply return. Basically the idea is that if I click on it, then my state changes and it becomes some this color, brown color. If I click on it again, then it should return. So here there could be a bug here. If you can pause and find out, then please, or not even a bug, it could be a quirky behavior. You can pause and think about it and mention in the comments. Let's see if you can find it. Now coming back to this, when we call our parents on click, we pass the background color. If I go to my game component, I have my handle click. Let's say we'll get the current selected color here. Now this is the first selection, and in our as per our algorithm we just need to store it. So what we can do is that we need some value or some data structure to store it. So we can say active colors, set active colors. We'll have the use state here, which is an array for now. So if my active colors dot length is equal to 0, then I'm just simply going to store it, current selected colors, and return. So this takes care of my this part where this is my first selection. What if it is my second selection? So I'll refresh this, I click on this and I click on this. Now this is my second selection. Now we have to make a choice. So in this case what we can do is that if my active colors dot 0, which is the first selection, is equal to current selected color, then we need to maintain the selected state. Now how can we maintain it? To maintain this, we need some sort of tracking. We need what all colors are actually revealed colors. Now revealed color is a color where we found the pair. So what we can do is here is that we can have something called revealed colors, and we can have something called set revealed colors, and here it could be a set. So if it is matching, then we are going to set the revealed colors. What we are going to do is we are going to create a new set from the previous value by adding the current selected colors. So that means initially it was an empty set. Let's say I'm denoting it by these brackets. Then we'll create a new set by adding, let's say, uh, black. Let's say the matching color was black. So now the size of our set becomes 1. So let me refresh this. Also we need to store, or in this case what we can do is that since we found the active colors, since we found the revealed color, we'll set our active colors to an empty array. This is the this is to reset so that we can have the next state. So this is the logic when we found a pair. Let's write the logic where we don't find a pair. So in that case what we want to do is that we want to reset everything. So set active colors to an empty, not empty in this case. What we are going to do is that first we'll have the previous, and it's going to return the previous comma current selected color, because we are doing this because we need to show the second selection. We and then eventually reset it to white. Okay, so what how we can do this is, or let me write a logic here, then I'll optimize it. So we can say is that set timeout, and I don't think it's O capital. Set, we will have the set timeout of 400 milliseconds because we wanted to reset it in 400 milliseconds. We'll say that set active colors to an empty array in 400 milliseconds. Now let's pass all this data to our box and see how we can make these changes. So let me have this. We'll pass the revealed colors to our box, and we will pass the active colors. Okay, so now we'll come to our box. We will find the revealed colors here and active colors. Now we will say is revealed. We'll use this to check that the current box is, do we need to show this, maintain the color for it, or do we need to reset it? So what we are going to say is that revealed colors has the current background color of this box. If it is, then we'll update our state logic also here, that if it is revealed, then we are going to have the background color, else we'll set it to default bg color. Also revealed colors, okay, if this is going to be revealed colors as background color. Now we also know that if our active colors are set to value 0, that like if I click on this and if I click on this, so there is no match. And when there is no match, our after 400 milliseconds our active colors will become 0, and it is also not part of revealed color, so we have to reset it to white. So that is a side effect. So we need a use effect here for this. So use effect we'll have is revealed and active colors. So if the current color is not revealed and active colors dot length is equal to 0, then we'll set we'll set the background color to default white. Now let's see how this is working. So let's say I click on this, I click on this. See, both are gone, because this, when we click on it, then we call the parent, we pass the color. We, by passing the color, we come here. So let's retrace it. We'll click on this. This if condition will become true, and active colors dot length is 0, so we'll store it and we'll return it, and this will stay at as it is. Now if I click on this again, then if condition will get executed, but this is not true because both values are different. So we'll go to else, we'll set the value, we'll store it, and then we eventually after 400 millisecond we set a timer, and after when this timer executes, then we'll set the reset the value. Ideally we don't even need this, so let's try it out. Let me try this out. See, we don't even need to store it, we just need to set a timer to reset the value to an empty array that has a side effect of setting it as white. Now if we see our logic here, we have built the grid, we have handled the interactivity, click handlers and state management and everything. Our round count is still not, we are not still counting the rounds. So what we can do here is we can say round count and set round count, which is initially going to be 0. And if we have two selections, if we come here, so this is the, after this is the two selections, so we can say set round count previous equal to previous plus 1. And this is done, this is done. If we come to our box, let's say if we have handled all the conditions in our box, so if it is revealed, then we are setting the color, we are handling and calling the parent also. In the side effect, if it is not revealed and active colors become 0, then we do this. Let's try out the game. So it is resetting, so right now both colors are same, so it is retaining the value. This is also good. Oh, it's all having the same colors together. See, now our all the logic is working, that we are retaining the colors, we are resetting the color. The only thing left is the final game over screen. So let's do that. So I'll create a new component called gameover.js. I'll open it. Let me create this component quickly. So we'll have a game over, which is going to, we need to reset it also. So we'll have a on click here. It will have, let's say, an h2, which will say game was over in, we need the round count here, round count, counts, or in this case let's say rounds. We'll need a button here that is going to say reset. Okay, so we'll have a div class name, maybe game over. Let's export this quickly. Game over. We'll go to our game, we'll import this here, game over from game over.js. We'll come here. If our what we are calling to call, if our revealed colors dot size is equal to total dot divided by 2, that means let's say we have revealed 6 colors and our total was 12, so 12 and 12 divided by 2 is also 6. So if it is equal, then we are going to say game over. We need to show the game over screen. We need to pass the round count, and we need some sort of on click handler also. Let's create an empty function for now, and if it's not equal, then we are going to render this. And let's create our reset handler. So let's say handle reset. This is going to set everything, active colors to this, set revealed colors to a new set, and set round count to 0. We'll take this and we'll pass this here. Let's say this is true for now. So we have this thing. So we'll come to our style.jsx. We'll say game over display flex direction column gap 20 pixels, padding 30 pixels, maybe width 100%, and justify content center, align item center. Maybe not with 100%, this would do. We'll have game over button. I'm just giving a basic styling here, padding 10 pixels, 15 pixels, uh, border 1 pixel solid black, and border radius 4 pixels. Now what we can do is we can say transition all 0.2 seconds is in. This would be transition is in out. Now game over button, hover, then cursor pointer, and transform scale 0.95. So if see, there is this, we can have other things also, like something like border color green, background color green, color white, or in this case what we can do here is background color transparent. Now if I click show, something like this, and we need to add the logic also, did we? Let's go to game over, we have on click, we'll pass this on click to the button. So if I click this, oh, it's right now we are setting it up explicitly. If I come back, I remove this, we'll refresh. So let me try out the game. I'm pretty bad at this. This was no, this was, oh, this was blue, this was purple, this was this was this, and see, now it was over in 12 rounds. If I click on it, then we'll reset. So this is the end of the video. I hope you were able to learn something new today and you enjoyed the solution that I provided. If you think that I missed out on something or something could have been better, then please do mention in the comments. Do reach out to me. It would be great to have that conversation with you. As always, do like, share and subscribe. You can see a couple of links on the screen, topmate.io/Yomesh Gupta. I have already helped enough folks. You can go check out my LinkedIn and socials, and you can see that I'll help people crack Fang, Uber, Razorpay, Hotstar, LinkedIn, and so many companies. So if you want to book a session with me, then you can use topmate.io/Yomesh Gupta. If you want to just simply practice, you can use devtools.tech/practice. There are my LinkedIn and Twitter links if you want to connect with me. So till next time, see you. Take care. Bye bye.